Why are you stressing? What is the big deal? We'll just get married, and then I'll go to work during the day and finish up school at night. You can stay home with the baby. It'll work.
And condoms always work. What am I supposed to say to my parents? Mom, Dad, I'm not going to be going to college because I'm pregnant. But it's okay because Jason and I are getting married. I don't think so.
But there's welfare and stuff. It's not like we can't...
Perfect. Welfare. That is a great way to raise a kid. You're just full of brilliant ideas today, Jason.
I don't know what you want me to say here.
I think you've said plenty.
I am sorry. I wish there was something I could say.
Sorry's not going to cut it this time, Jason. It's too late to apologize. It's too late to apologize. It's too late to apologize. It's too late to apologize.
Hey, I'd like to talk to you about sex. Popular subject. Yeah, we've all heard so-called safe sex message, but what are the other options? Sometimes making a smart decision about sex can be really confusing. I mean, with the risk of pregnancies and all the STDs out there, that making that decision can be pretty intense. Hi, I'm Austin O'Brien, and today we're going to be talking to some teenagers to find out the truth about life, love, and sex.
Teens today are just looking for the next best thing, the next high, the better girl.
People are having sex right and left.
I have had intercourse, and I'm not married.
A lot of people out there just hooking up all the time.
I've probably slept with maybe 30 women.
Even though people are having sex left and right, I'll make my own decisions.
I just think the basic assumption is that most people aren't going to wait until they get married to have sex.
Kind of don't get much credit. I mean, teenagers as a whole, for self-control.
I mean, who says God said that, sex was only for married people?
It's hard for me to say no to anything.
I have had sex more than once.
I started having sex when I was 16, and it was completely not safe.
I believe I was about 14 years old when I started having sex.
When they hand out condoms, it's just like, okay, thanks. I'll be sure to go use this.
It's hard to say no to sex.
I don't feel that it's hard to abstain.
I was 13 years old when I had a sexual relationship.
I never hear anyone saying no anymore.
We thought we were being cool. Everybody else is having sex, so are we. Everything's fine.
I think it's very hard to say no.
Not everybody is doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Most teenagers are.
I don't think everyone's doing it. I don't feel that way at all.
I think you feel like you need it sometime, right?
I hope I don't remain a virgin until I'm married. I hope I get some kind of experience.
First child I fathered, she kept the child.
If you're not doing it, you're not cool. You're not in, you're not hip, whatever.
The second relationship I was in, we decided to put it up for adoption.
We've sold them a lie. We have said that free love, free sex brings freedom. It doesn't.
Third case, we went towards an abortion.
Let's say I were to abstain, some people might think I'm weird.
I myself have not done it. My friends, the majority of my friends have not done it.
It's almost starting to be okay to be pregnant as a teenager now because it's so common.
It's good to have sex anytime, any place, anywhere.
Once I get into the situation with a guy or whatever, right when you're in the midst of it, it's a little harder to say no.
Especially when it's right in your face and you're about to do it.
I don't think I'm gonna wait because foreplay feels good, and I'm guessing if foreplay feels good, sex probably feels good too.
I believe that sexuality is the #1 topic that kids are really, struggling with across the board.
Sex is a lot that has to do with life, and
it's a huge part of being a teenager.
The worst possible scenarios happened. She's pregnant, I'm married at 18.
I think teens become sexually active because they're curious.
My first time was out of curiosity.
We said we loved each other a lot, but we didn't really know what love was.
It was just temptation. I gave into it, and I couldn't say no.
A lot of girls think that if they, have sex with a guy, they think that they're going to get that love in return, because that's what they really want.
The passing out of condoms in health classes or whatever at school, definitely it promotes sex. I mean, they're saying, oh yeah, it's okay, this is your protection.
Seems like no matter who you are or where you live, there's a lot of pressure to have sex before marriage. And when you consider the safe sex message, it's pretty clear that we've been misled. It's not like because we're teenagers, we're animals or something. We're certainly capable of making wise decisions and controlling ourselves. But we're only human, and we do make mistakes. But making just one mistake about sex can have lifelong consequences. I'd like to introduce you to Adrian, Leslie, and Sarah.
I became sexually active when I was 16 years old. The night of my 16th birthday, actually, is the night that I lost my virginity.
I met him at Taco Bell because we both worked at Taco Bell, and I guess we just clicked somehow.
26 years ago, I was 16 years old, junior in high school, and pregnant.
We were convinced that we were going to get married someday, that we were just so much in love.
Looking back, I believe I was very naive and actually really dumb for thinking that I wasn't going to get pregnant.
We never talked about, how far we wanted to go, how far we were comfortable with, what we were going to do.
Before I knew what I had done, I'd already given myself away to another person without realizing I was supposed to wait for a special day to do that.
I think self-control is something I definitely chose not to exercise. I wanted to have sex, so I did. And I wanted to go out and party and drink, so I did.
Coming from a home that was fairly dysfunctional, and never being told that I was loved, never being hugged as a child, never receiving a hug from my parents until I was in my 20s, I was looking for a hug.
I was the last one of all of my friends to lose my virginity. The night after it happened, all of my girlfriends threw me a big party because they were so proud that I had finally, done it and gotten it over with.
And this might sound really dumb because I'm a Christian and I don't believe in sex before marriage, but I did it anyways.
After my abortion, that baby's father and I broke up. I immediately, within 6 weeks after my abortion, was involved in another sexual relationship with a different guy.
When I got the phone call to find out that I was pregnant, reality set in, I guess.
When I got pregnant for the second time, I didn't tell anybody for 5 months because I didn't feel like there was anybody in my life that I could talk to about that.
It's pretty scary to think that one bad decision could change our lives forever. I mean, 1 minute we're in school, hanging out with our friends, doing whatever activities we're into, and the next we're looking at trying to be a parent or dealing with a sexually transmitted disease, STD. I can't even imagine what it would be like to have to give up all my future plans. And I want to go to college, continue in my career, hopefully get married someday, maybe have some kids, but those could all turn into impossible dreams if I let my hormones think for me.
Sex is a multidimensional experience, and it has multidimensional consequences.
Teens should realize that all the choices that they make come with consequences.
The STDs, the pregnancies, there are consequences, but I think the benefits of sex far outweigh the consequences.
And those consequences are not just physical, but they are emotional, they are social, spiritual, and even perhaps financial.
When we found out she was pregnant, I said, well, got to change a couple diapers or something every now and then, wake up in the middle of the night. But it goes so much deeper. I got to buy the diapers, got to buy the formula, got to buy the clothes, and it's more than I ever thought it'd be.
Making love with somebody, obviously there's a lot of emotion involved, and that's another thing that you have to bring into it.
Guilt can be an emotional problem with having sex.
The emotional side of sex, I don't think a lot of teens know about. I didn't know about it until after I lost my virginity, and it was devastating.
There's a lot of emotional and inner consequences I'm suffering through.
The first time I had sex, I've never felt worse. I've never felt more scared in my life.
And life's a 50-50 gamble, so all you can do is roll the dice and hope for the best, because if you want to be happy, that's what it's all about,
Having sexual contact in some ways ruins a relationship. I think I lose respect for myself and my partner.
I was gambling every time we had sex, whether I had a rubber on or not, or she was on the pill, a Norplant, whatever. It was nothing but taking a chance and gambling.
As if it's not already tough enough to say no to sex, when you add alcohol and drugs to the mix, things can get really out of control. When we lose our inhibitions, we can become vulnerable and make decisions we wouldn't ordinarily make.
We'll get him, Tiger.
Hi, Stevie. Are you ready for some fun?
What's up with you? You were supposed to be here an hour ago.
No, I know. But
And what are you doing with Kevin anyway?
they got a hold of a bottle of vodka, and so we came to find you.
So what do you want to do now?
Whatever you want to do. You know my parents aren't home. And there's still some vodka left. And there's still, you know my parents aren't home. And there's still, you know my parents aren't home.
Hey, Sarah, let's just go to the game.
Whatever.
What?
He doesn't know.
Well, we'll go back to your house anyway.
I am extremely vulnerable when alcohol is involved.
Biggest problems we have are sex with multiple partners at early ages, and it goes hand in hand with smoking, drinking, and drugs.
I've been raped several times at parties when I was drunk or high or, you know.
Alcohol has definitely caused me to make some bad decisions, some real bad decisions.
I think alcohol could be a problem too, because I could get drunk and go to a party and have sex unprotected.
The first few times I had sex, I was drunk.
When the opposite sex is present and alcohol is involved, that's the most frightening thing, because I really lack self-control.
Drinking really caused me to make a lot of bad decisions concerning sex.
A compromising situation is, for me, being at a party where I know there are drugs and alcohol, or I know there's someone that's going to pressure me into having sex.
If I was drunk and I had sex with a girl and I woke up, I would honestly